Servus and welcome! I'm René, a senior consultant at Tenfold, and in this video we will cover Tenfold lifecycle phases. Basically, you could think of lifecycle phases as the status of a person within Tenfold and can be found under Persons, Lifecycle. This ranges from the standard phases like active, locked, and deleted, to as many additional phases as you may potentially need. Initially, the Active Directory person sync forms the basis for assignment. Active user objects are assigned to the active lifecycle phase and deactivated ones are assigned to the locked phase. The most common additional lifecycle phases would be parental leave, long-term absence, or an intermediate phase for in the process of leaving. For our example, we will create a new phase, parental leave, using the new button. Here we assign a unique name, an icon, and a desired color in which the phase will be displayed on the Persons tab designated for this purpose. Additionally, at the bottom section, we must define the possible subsequent lifecycle phases, meaning to which other phases a transition from this phase is possible. Usually people return from parental leave, so we add active as well as locked. In the Action Evaluation tab, you can define field rules to specify which actions should be performed when switching into this phase. Especially useful if different actions need to be triggered for different groups of people. You can create additional sets of action via the plus set of actions button, but for our example, we will stick to the default in the Actions tab. In this screen, you can very precisely control which permissions of the user should be retained or removed when transitioning into this phase. Basically, there are general actions keep all or remove all. Additionally, actions can be available for each category. For example, in AD groups, you could choose to only remove users from mail distribution groups. Or under resources, to lock lockable resources like the domain resource or AD account and either keep or remove other assigned resources. You can also override this general behavior by searching for specific elements in the search field on the left and dragging and dropping them into the Actions area. Again, various options are available, usually opposite to the general action. That is, remove when permissions are generally supposed to be kept, and vice versa. In the Automatic Phase Change tab, you can define an automatic transition from this phase into another. The basis for this decision is again a field rule. But if you want to cover all possibilities, you can simply use the Everyone rule, which is the most usual use case. The activation can then occur according to the following criteria. After n days in this lifecycle phase, upon reaching the date of a person field, most commonly used for switching from active to locked upon reaching the leaving date, n days before or after reaching such a date, or via a customizable option using a code snippet. The final selection defines which lifecycle phase should be transitioned into. At the end of the configuration, confirm by clicking Save. To be able to transition into this new phase, you must also edit to existing phases. To do this, we edit the active lifecycle phase and add the new parental leave phase as a possible subsequent lifecycle phase. Clicking Save again confirms the change. Now we can look for a user, using the quick search for example, editing the user, switching over to the Lifecycle tab and transfer them over to the desired lifecycle phase. Apply by hitting Save.